All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Coaches podcast. We're off a week because when it was recording day, my house had zero power, so it can't. What are you gonna do? But we are back. I have this new sweatshirt that I waited like 2 months to get, and football season's over, but I got it, and honestly, it looks better in the screen than it does in person. I was very disappointed when I opened this up, and it's like orange. It's not red, but. So I'm ready to go for next.
I can understand your disappointment. Yeah, just looking at it.
It's orange, like I'm a Bengals player or something.
It doesn't look orange on the screen though.
I know that's what I'm saying. I can only wear this when I'm on screen. I can't really wear this out. But I'm ready for next football season. So also if you see these jersey sweatshirt things on Facebook, don't do it. The colors are not what that looks like. It looks real crisp in the ad, of course, and then you get it and you go, it's not what I was going for.
Not authentic. Who is that? Who's number 54?
Warner.
Oh,
yeah, big time middle linebacker. All right, so let's jump in. We're hitting football, basketball, and potentially some UFC. But the combine going on this week. Bears have the number 1 pick. They have a quarterback, kind of similar to what the Niners have going on, where maybe not a great quarterback, but then you see a player like Jalen Hurts come in where people were having the similar questions that they're having with the Bears and Niners quarterbacks, and you go, maybe there's hope. But the Bears have the number 1 pick. So, Deacon Greg, I'm going to go with you. If you were the Bears, what would you do with the number 1 pick? And then depending on what you would do with the number 1 pick, what do you do with your quarterback situation?
well, they seem to be sold on their quarterback. I mean, they're going to go all in on him. So, and I heard that they were going to try and trade down a couple of picks or whatever and try to get some draft capital for that. And I would do that. I mean, try to build around your quarterback. If you got faith and you believe in him, I watched him. He's a great runner. He could run the heck out of the ball. His passing, he probably, if he had a few more weapons or whatever. So that's the route I would take. They seem to be sold on their quarterback. And this year's draft really is not that strong. There's a lot of question marks with these quarterbacks. So why would you do that? It's a passing league. You need a quarterback. So and you think you got one, I would do that. I would trade down and see what I could get with some draft capital.
All right, Brother Bill.
Yeah, same thing. They're set at quarterback. Defense isn't bad. The way the team is structured, one of the challenges they had last season was scoring. And so they need more offense. Their offensive line, I don't know where their players stand in terms of, experience, years they've been in the league, but definitely trade down and get some more firepower on offense. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I think if it was a different draft class for quarterbacks, like I could see it next year where you have a couple like really big time guys coming out. I could see them switching out and just getting rid of the quarterback and starting over. But he is a super athlete. The passing stuff, again, we've seen a huge growth in passing with Lamar Jackson. We've seen a huge growth in passing with Jalen Hurts. And I think you kind of look at the players as players that are highly mobile, have big arms. You go, well, we've seen it before, so maybe we can make it happen again. I did hear some people talk about potentially the Bears trading for Lamar Jackson since Baltimore can't get that worked out. But then again, you're going to need to pay him $230 million guaranteed. So I don't see any team doing that except for a super desperate team. But with the Bears number 1 pick, one of the options, Jalen Carter looks like he may not be an option for maybe 3 years, maybe a year and a half with good behavior or something. I don't know. But and granted, there's so many great football players, especially linemen coming out of the SEC, that you lose maybe the top lineman out of that. But there's still so many other players. Would you still? Actually, here's the question. Deacon Hill, if you want to trade for players with that Bears team, what positions are you drafting for?
Well, I would agree with Brother Bill. He's coming, Bill. It's coming. I feel it.
Stop it.
I'd agree with Brother Bill. They need more firepower on offense, and I think quarterback needs some receivers. So I would look for somebody, some type of firepower on offense. But they were looking hard at Jalen Carter. They wanted him on to shore up their defensive line. So who knows? But I would look for first, especially with the situation that's going on with him. Like you were saying, he probably won't do any jail time. They said that's a misdemeanor. The racing and all that stuff is a misdemeanor. I don't know if they can actually tie him into the accident itself. Just a little bit of background on that was it happened in December, and one of the football players died in that accident, and a scouting staffer that was driving, a female, she was driving an SUV, and they got in a race, and they had a wreck, and allegedly he was racing with them down the highway. They got video footage and stuff like that. So, and he left the scene. He returned later on and act like he had anything to do with it. But now that the story's unfolding, he was actually involved. So a lot of the questions about him is about his character, and that's what they're questioning. Whether would you want to put that draft that high on somebody that might have some kind of character issues going on and stuff like that. So that's where the big question mark with him is. So, but like back to your original question, I would look more for offense to put around my quarterback and go from there.
Yeah, Brother Bill, you were talking about offense. You're thinking receivers and running back, stuff like that, or offensive linemen?
Receivers, but interesting. So I was looking at on the NFL.com, mock draft. Yeah, 3 analysts are giving mock drafts, and the first 10, I think 7 of the first 10 in the mock draft are defensive players. And so the only offensive players I see are offensive linemen. I don't see any of the skill players until you get to Jordan Addison, a receiver out of USC.
Yeah,
so
I think
that the belief is that defense is the way to go.
Well, and I think there seems to be a trend where you're able to find high quality offensive weapons later in the draft. Like offensive linemen are very hard to find. I mean, like good offensive linemen. I mean, even when you draft high, like us, we have McGlinchey. McGlinchey's a ginormous human being, and he's okay. I mean, he's 6'9", like 7,000 pounds, and still people can blow by him. So I think those linemen thing, you're watching the trenches, and you're watching that, especially with that QB push, whether they allow that or not. Like when the Eagles run that QB push, man, the line is it moves the whole other team. And I think people were seeing, oh, okay, the protection, the teams with the protection, the teams with the good defensive lines, that's, give your quarterback time to actually, read the field and be able to pass the ball. I could see the combination of wide receivers and running backs in the later rounds excelling and not really being able to find like a killer defensive offensive lineman, except early is probably why that would shift. I know we've talked about this multiple times. Do you think any team is going to give Lamar Jackson a fully guaranteed contract, like and 230 plus fully guaranteed? So one thing I heard this week was that the Ravens are negotiating with Lamar and his mom, which still, you can do those things. I mean, Richard Sherman negotiated all his own stuff. But they would give, okay, here's an updated offer, and he would just come back with fully guaranteed. Okay, we'll work something out. We'll come. Here's the new offer. He's coming back with fully guaranteed, and I'm assuming it's fully guaranteed at it's 230 or 231 or whatever he wants. He wants to be the highest paid quarterback. Do you think any team is willing to do that? Or if yes, which team?
The Ravens. Go ahead, brother Bill.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm deferring to you. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, if the Ravens want him and he's drawn a line in the sand where it's all fully guaranteed or not, then that tells me that he believes he's got the leverage. And so it's for the Ravens to say whether or not they want him on their team or not. And if the answer is guaranteed, they're going to have to open up the safe and back up the truck and just give it all to him guaranteed. That's the only way I see them keeping him, unless he's willing to, negotiate down. And I don't get the sense that he is.
Team Greg.
Yeah, I was hearing something that the GM was saying. The GM said that they're all in for him. He's their guy. He's their guy. Then I also heard that from Stephen A. Smith that he's not asking for fully guaranteed. That's not what he's not asking for that. So that's what Stephen A. Smith says that he told him. But far as the Ravens, like I said, they're all in on him, and they can franchise tag him, which he will not be happy. What is it? Two type of franchises.
The compete and non-compete.
Yes, and one the none is where he could the other teams can talk to him and they could offer him whatever, and they would get two first round draft picks for that. So I think that would be the only way they would let him go, and under those conditions, if they can get 2 first round draft picks and the compensation for him. But I think he's going to be there. They one way or another they're going to work that out. I don't know about the guarantee part, but it's going to be a lot of money, and I think he's going to be in Baltimore.
So did Stephen A. say if he wasn't asking for fully guaranteed, did he give any indication of like what the discrepancy is between the two?
He's talking about a dollar figure. He's talking about the figure that they're looking at, but he's saying that they talked to him and they said it's not the guarantee. He's not asking for guaranteed,
and it has nothing to do with. I mean, but it's got to be around the price point of Deshaun's.
It's the money. It's a money issue, but I don't think it's a guaranteed issue.
Okay. Man, I can't imagine. If he was a Raider, would you want to pay him as much as Deshaun?
Oh man, you have to look at your whole roster. First of all, you have to see what you already have, and what is it going to cost you. You can't, if it's going to cost you to deplete your roster or stuff like that, you can't do that.
But at some point, I mean, when you're making that much money, at some point it has to deplete it someplace.
Well, like they say, they can always go back and renegotiate the contract and stretch it out or whatever. So that's what a lot of players say. It's never about the money issue because they can always work it out. They can make the figures work if they wanted to. So
if they say tomorrow, Lamar's a Raider, they just paid him $240 guaranteed. Are you happy or are you concerned?
With our roster the way it's constructed right now, I'm happy because we're just a quarterback away, so I'm happy. What are you looking at?
I'm looking for your defense.
Don't worry about that defense. I told you guys about that defense. They stayed on the field too long. Defense is all right. It ain't, defense is all right.
All right, brother Bill. He's a Niner tomorrow. 230 guaranteed. We would definitely have to lose players though, because we got high priced players. But are you cool? Or are you like, oh man, I wish he had stayed in Baltimore?
I stay in Baltimore because I think the Niners need, in order for them to get over the hump, it isn't the quarterback. For them to get over the hump, it's their offensive line. Sorry, Mike McGlinchey. Just too slow at right tackle. Too many times edge rushers were beating you like a drum. I watched it both on TV and there at the games. And I think they're fine on the defense with their front seven. So if it means not re-signing some of their key players, because the Niners have some key free agents that they have to re-sign. And to lose them to get Lamar would be an uneven exchange for this team.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. I'd rather have Bosa. Bosa's going to be expensive,
and
he's
going to be worth every penny.
For sure.
Overrated.
Bro, are you kidding? You kidding me? Oh my God!
Overrated players don't win Defensive Player of the Year. That just doesn't happen in the NFL.
Did he win it this year?
He oh, come on, man, where you been? Come on, man.
I don't follow. I don't follow you guys. I don't know.
You can't watch Raiders, 1983 reruns all the time. You got to watch some, the real news sometime.
He must have. If he won it on past reputation.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody check this guy's blood alcohol level. What's going on over there?
Don't drink.
All right. Then we got to drug test you then, man. You're making it worse. All right. So moving on to basketball. I'm going to start with the Clippers first. I don't know how in the same city, in the same building, you watch Russell Westbrook do what he did the last couple of years, and you're like, you know what? That's the guy we need. That's gonna get us there. What in the world are the Clippers thinking?
Woo.
I'll start, Brother Bill. I'll start with you. I can't think of what's going on. Isn't Jerry West still in the front office? What is going on over there? Is Ballmer calling the shots? What's happening?
I believe that the Clippers thought that they needed a little bit more explosiveness on their offense, because if you look at the way they run their offense, they've been stagnant at times. And fair and unfair, he's one of the more electric players, right? Once he gets going. And so I believe that trade was about trying to get some more scoring, because he's at best an average defender. He hasn't been really good defender since he was at OKC. Even then it was marginal. I think that was for them about to try to get some more offense. But I don't believe that that's going to make a difference. For them to make a run in the playoffs, even to try to get out of the second round, it's going to be on their defense. If you look at the way the West is, you're going to have to defend in order to get out of the West.
Yeah, Deacon Greg, he came from your team. So, were you happy when he left?
I was ecstatic. Yes, yes. What are they? The Clippers are 0-3 since he's been there, or 1-4. They've got some kind of crazy record. But the reason that one of the reasons I was hearing it, the reason they wanted him there is they wanted to get the ball out of Paul George's hand, because he was handling the ball too much, bringing it up the court and everything. So they brought in, when he was coming off the bench for the Lakers, he's starting for them. And he's actually, and he's handling the ball. He's bringing the ball up, but he's not reliable. He's very streaky. I think his best asset is taking the ball to the hole, just going and taking it to the hole and being decisive. He's not his problem. He's not decisive. He's not decisive with what he wants to do. And I think that's his best move, is to go decisive to the hole and distribute or whatever. And his jump shot is streaky at best. And yeah, I don't think it's going to work out very well for the Clippers.
I mean, if you get him, I could totally understand getting him. The starting thing, I don't really get, but it doesn't matter because it's so far away from the end. My thing with him is that dude cannot be on the floor with the last 5 minutes of the game. That dude is a game killer. He will do something dumb and just not pass or not whatever he's trying to be whatever he's doing. That dude at the end of the game is a absolute nightmare.
He hit a big three last night at the end.
So he's 1 for 15 on threes or something.
And they still lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, he's too indecisive. That's his problem. If he made up his mind to make his move and go, he'd be much better. But he's hesitant too much. So he kills you at the end of games, because he'll try to do something, then there's no spacing, and he'll just try to throw a 2-foot pass to somebody or something.
It's crazy that a dude that's that athletic, that went to UCLA, like, he's not a dummy. Like, how does he just, like, the whole dynamic of him and the team is just, it's always weird. It's always crazy. I don't get it. But moving to the other team in the same locker room, the Lakers without LeBron, supposedly for a couple of weeks, but things pop in your feet when you're 6'8", 240 pounds. That's not great. So, Deacon Greg, your feelings on the Lakers the rest of the season?
My feelings on the Lakers for the rest of the season, at best, at first with LeBron healthy and AD healthy, I thought they could get to the 6th spot. Without them, I was watching tonight. They were winning tonight without them, and they're playing OKC. OKC ain't that good. But the good thing about the Lakers is they have the easiest schedule left in the league, and they got the next 5 games at home. So I think they can tread water. They could do pretty good. Those bench guys that they have are not that bad. So I think they could. I think they're going to reach the play-in. I think they could make to the play-in.
But they need AD, right?
Huh?
They need AD to be
Yeah,
playing, right?
they need AD. AD needs to get himself back together, but they could win a few games without AD. They got like I said, they got a 5-game home stretch coming up, and the teams are weak. The teams that they're playing are weak.
So you think that's why they sat AD tonight, because it was just against OKC?
Well, kind of, sort of. Let's see. I got their schedule right here. You know, the team that I'm worried about
Warriors
is the Timberwolves. Minnesota's kind of all right. But then they got this sorry team called the Warriors are coming in. We got the Grizzlies at home. The Raptors and we got a pretty tough schedule at home, but they're all at home.
Okay.
So yeah, they're gonna need AD though. They will need AD to win those games.
Mr. Grumpy Pants. Mr. Grumpy Pants on the bench. LeBron's Silver. Brother Bill, what do you think?
I think they can make it to the play-in.
Okay.
And I think LeBron will be. I think he'll be back within 2 weeks.
Yeah, you know what, the dude like LeBron, you know, if he can go, he will go. He's not going to be one of those dudes that's like, I'm going to rest it. Brother Bill, you think you what do you think of his assessment of the Lakers?
2 words: draft lottery. The Lakers are done. Go ahead and put a fork in them. Looking at that schedule, they have all the teams that they have to who are ahead of them in the 7, 8, 9, and 10 spot. They have to play all of those teams, and all of those teams have something to play for. They might get by Dallas. Minnesota's going to beat them. Utah's going to beat the Lakers twice. And the Pelicans, I think that's a toss-up. At some point, the Lakers are going to be mathematically eliminated from playoffs. They are not even going to make the 10 spot. The only thing
we're not talking about the Warriors here, are we? He said Lakers, not Warriors.
No, we are talking about the number 5 seed Warriors without Steph or Wiggins. No, we're not talking about that team. We're talking about the LeBron-less Lakers for the next couple of weeks. They're done. I know you're trying to keep hope alive, but Bob Hope, he done passed away a long time ago. You can't keep hope alive anymore.
Hey, you guys think John Morant's going to stay out of jail? He seems to be doing everything possible to get in trouble over dumb stuff.
What did he do? I haven't heard that.
He beat up some kid at a park in like December, and then taunted him, went by his house and like, you know, flashed a gun. It's like, bro, what are you doing? And then you heard the thing about the Foot Locker or some shoe store, the manager or somebody at the shoe store was rude to his mom, so he rolled up with all his friends at the mall and threatening the guy, talking about what time you get off, and like, bro, you are a $100 something, $200 something million player. You need to chill out and knock it off.
The problem with Memphis is they believe that they are a better team than they really are. They're fun to watch, but there's something about, I mean, they've got some young guys, but that team as it's constructed, they've been around long enough. And to say that, you know, they're the team that's, you know, strong in the West, when you have this kind of stuff going on, that to me spells of you're not focused on the mission at hand, and that's to try to win a championship. If you're going to get out of the West, you can't be getting into trouble at this point in the season.
They have a good team. They don't have an identity. They don't. I call it. They all want to play hero ball. They don't have a go-to guy. They all want to take shots. And I was just watching them even against the Lakers the other night. And that's with anybody. They'll let you back in the game. They can be up by 10, 15 points, and you're going to get back in the game because they're going to go down there and shoot and keep on going and doing all this crazy stuff and let you right back in the game. They have the talent. They just don't have. They don't have the identity.
They have the players, but there's one team that's in the West that is one of the smartest teams in the West, Warriors. And that's the Golden State Warriors. You can talk about the talent, but when it comes time to execute, they know how to execute. That's how they beat Boston in the finals last year, a team that was more athletic. They beat them. They shut them down at the Garden. That just doesn't happen. You just have to call it like you see it. May not agree, but when all's said and done, I know we're not talking about the Warriors, but they're sitting
the 500. Are the Warriors 500 right now? Is that
the Warriors are 2 games over 500? And when the season comes in, the Warriors are going to be at the 4th spot, and they're going to have to play Memphis in the second round. and they're going to get past them. I think it's going to be 6 games again, and barring injury, the Warriors, I'm telling you, are coming out of the West.
Coming out of the West. Oh.
Yes, sir. Who's going to beat them? Give me a team. Give me a team who, with the Warriors healthy,
I can give you 2 right now, right off the just.
And don't say the Lakers. If you say the Lakers,
No, it's not going to be the
Lakers.
Lakers. It's not going to. They won't match up. The Lakers, the Warriors will be gone before they get to the Lakers. But it will be the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. You better pay attention. You can't. Those teams are going to. The Phoenix Suns or the Denver Nuggets are coming out of the West. It won't be the Warriors.
Okay.
It will not be the Warriors.
What's today's date? March 1st? Okay, we're going to play this podcast back after the Western Conference Finals.
Phoenix Suns or the Denver Nuggets. It will not be the Golden State Warriors. Okay. And if they played, even if they got to the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies will beat the Warriors.
I they did last year. Yeah,
I do. Right. One thing I do like about the Grizzlies, so they do have the talent. I love all the trash talking that they do. Like it's like old school basketball where like not everybody's buddy and friends and hang out. Like they can't put it all together, but I like that. I like the attitude, and I like that they have attitude, and then we beat them because that makes it better. They have all the attitude, and then you go, okay, kids, go home, figure that out.
Fun to watch. Celtics get ratings when it comes time to playoffs. They're just not there. It's totally regular season.
Yep. Superstardom. They're totally that team. They're the team that plays. Oh, they're so flashy. They're this. Oh, watch out for this team. They get in the playoffs and hit one defense, and it goes, and they're out.
I agree, but I will say Denver or Phoenix.
So who's the third then? Is the third the Warriors?
Warriors. The Warriors are gonna.
No.
The Warriors are gonna. Barring injury.
Come on.
I mean, I say barring. No.
Yeah.
When the Warriors have been whole, they have not been beaten in the series since they won their first title.
I was looking at something the other day. Did they bring Draymond off the bench?
You talking about the last game against Portland?
Not Portland. I didn't watch the before that.
Well, he had been hurt. He had a knee injury, so the last night's game against Portland was his first game back. He had been out for a few games.
Well, okay. I was wondering because he wasn't in the starting lineup.
Yeah, there are 2 games to get above 500 without Steph or without Wiggins. Come on, man. I'm telling you, they're coming. They're going to get to that fourth spot.
And I will say KD or Chris Paul, one of those 2 will get hurt in the playoffs. Like almost guaranteed. Those guys are brittle, especially KD.
Don't leave Booker out of there either. He's been getting hurt a lot too.
Oh, we got 3. We're good.
You know what?
That ain't gonna happen.
You're agreeing with us.
None of them are gonna have to do too much. He's gonna all be on cruise control.
I don't know about cruise control. The guy Draymond's gonna be punching people and stuff. You watch out.
Somehow I completely forgot that KD went to Phoenix. So you're right, Deacon Hill. So it looks like it could be Phoenix and the Warriors in the conference. So that means the Warriors got to get past KD and Booker and Phoenix. I'm not worried about Chris Paul, but yeah, KD. That could be problems.
Getting past, yeah.
That could be a problem.
Glad you finally got up on that, but you better not sleep on Denver either.
I forgot about that trade.
Because he didn't play till tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah. So last topic, we've got a couple minutes left. Are either of you guys into UFC?
No.
Not really, but I did do some homework on it when you posed that question. I don't really watch it that much, but educate us.
So John Jones, I don't think he's fought in like 3 years, moved up to heavyweight, and he's coming back and fighting this weekend. And so he's like one of my, I'm not a huge UFC guy, but I've watched John Jones like his whole career. And kind of a cool side note, his weightlifting instructor is my daughter's weightlifting instructor in Albuquerque. So she'll see John Jones walking around, and there's not a ton of black people in Albuquerque, so they always talk because he always wants to make sure he connects with the one other black chick in the gym. So she's all fired up. Like Albuquerque's all fired up. So I want to see him fight. Like he's fighting as a heavyweight. Like he spent the last 3 years getting big.
So yeah, I was looking at that though. He's like he's like 16-1. His record is 16-1, but he's 6'3". He weighs 205 pounds. That guy weighs 200. They're both 6'3", but that guy weighs 245 pounds.
No, but he bulked up, so he's gonna be up to he'll be up to like 230, 235.
Oh really? I was looking
Yeah,
at
yeah.
his weight. They said it was 205. So
I think
okay.
that's what he was fighting at before.
Oh, okay.
But I'm pumped to see that fight. But all right. Okay. All right. Well, all right, so lots of basketball this week. Do you guys care about baseball?
I've been watching. I like those new rules they got going in the major leagues.
See how fast the games are 2.5 hours long now.
What's the new rule?
They have the pitch count and they have the batter count. So the batter has to be in the box by a certain time, and the pitcher has to throw it by a certain time.
So
2.5. It's knocking 30 minutes off the game.
Wow.
Yes.
I
Yes.
like it.
And they got rid of the shift. So everybody has to play where you're supposed to play. They can't do this whole thing where everybody goes to one side of the field. I think that'll make it pretty interesting. Unfortunately, with the Padres and the Dodgers, the Giants and Rockies are what chance do they have to do anything in the West? It's like two all-star teams in our division. So, new rules though. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
all right.
the new rules.
All right. So that's it for tonight, and we will see everybody next week.
Next Tuesday, right? Back
Next
to regular
Tuesday.
date? Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
Lakers.
Draft.